Hi everybody, it's Chris Van Hillo with the City of Tampa's Visual Arts team. We shot this video last week showing you how you could weave on a foam loom or on a book. Here is our finished project. Today I wanted to show you how you could do it on a frame to do something a little bit larger. Yesterday I strung this frame up with yarn and went ahead and wove all these different textiles onto my frame. This was just a canvas. I'm trying to think of what this was. I'm pretty sure it was a canvas that I bought at Michael's, and I did an acrylic pour on it, and then I pulled the canvas off the frame and kept the frame because I thought, oh, you know what? I think I can use this to, instead of doing a pin loom, I can just wrap my yarn around this loom, and that's basically what I did. So I'm going to show you how I did that, and then I'm just going to get a little close-up of this here. I just love all these different yarns and all these different colors. I just think that's beautiful. So let me show you how I did that. For those of you that watched last week's video, we did a weave on a foam tray. What I want to do today is I want to show you how to finish off the back. So what I'm going to do now is take my yarn, and I've taken a ruler and a pencil, and I have marked off 1/4 inch marks on the top of this frame and on the bottom, and I'm literally going to wrap yarn around this frame. Those are going to be what's called my warps. I've gone ahead and secured the yarn with an overhand knot. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start wrapping this yarn and lining it up and really giving it a tug. I'm lining it up as best I can. I can always reposition when I get this whole thing done. I want to show you a technique that I came up with. My sister had sent me a video a couple weeks ago, and I saw somebody do something, and it took me a while to process that. Once you have your loom set up with your warps, you use what's called a shed that goes between every other warp, and then you can push on that, or pull on that, and it'll raise your warps up, which makes it easy to get your shuttle through. But you have to take that out and reinsert it every time, because on this one your shuttle will be going underneath, but on the next one it'll be going over the top because you have to rotate every other time. So I'm trying to come up with a second shed, and this is how I'm doing this. I have my ruler in here to act as a shed, and wherever it's in the wherever the ruler is underneath, I'm taking my yarn and sticking it under there and pulling it through, and then I'm going to wrap that around my stick and pull it tight, and then I'm going to go to the next piece of the next warp that the ruler is underneath. So I'm going to take this, I know you can't see because my fingers are in the way, I'm going to pull that through, then I'm going to bring it up and around my stick, pull it tight. So once I start to weave, I'm going to be able to lift this up to raise these warps, and then I will have this shed under the other strings, and I'll be able to have two sheds instead of one. So let me finish wrapping this up and I'll show you how it's going to work. So I have my first shed attached, and when I pull on this stick, it's going to raise every other warp up. Okay, and now I'm going to make a second shed out of this ruler. I put a piece of white paper back there because I was seeing double images. My eyes were crossing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm going to go every other one. So I'm going to have my odd warps and my even warps. Everything's going to be covered. And this is how I did my big loom last night. Okay, so when I pull on this, I'll be able to get my shuttle through this one, and then when I pull on this, maybe I should do it up here so that you can see they're not the same. So by having two sheds, this shed will affect the odd number warps 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This shed will affect the even number of warps 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And you can see if you look at this, where there's no string here, there is string here. So this warp is under and now this warp is over by using two different sheds. Okay, that's how I did this big loom. So this guy is finished. We're going to cut this off and I'm going to show you how to finish off the back because I'm going to make a purse out of this. Full transparency here. I cut this off the loom and I loosened it up because I want to be able to pull this shed and leave it open like this. It just makes it so much easier to deal with. And on this little guy, I want to be able to pull these up and actually let the warps be able to move so that I can get my shuttle easily in and out. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time weaving because we did that in the video last week, but I just want to show you, if you bring this shed up, I can easily put my shuttle through, okay? Then I'm going to lay this down and then I'm going to pull this going to pull my stick up. It's raising up. With this weave being complete, I'm now going to cut this off the loom. And the way I'm going to do that is just turn this over. I'm going to cut each one of these strings and then I'm going to have to tie them in an overhand knot to prevent the tension from loosening up. So I'm just going to go ahead. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to happen. Okay, so let's hold on to them while we cut them so they don't go flat. And I really did pull these tight. Just holding on to them and cutting them two at a time here. Okay, then I'm just going to pick this frame up and try to get it out of my way here. To lift these up over the back or remove the frame. So I'm going to tie these to each other. So I'm going to tie that in a knot. I'm going to tie the next two in a knot, double square knot or a double knot, however you want to call that. Okay, you get the idea. You don't have to see me tie every single one of these off, okay? So you get the idea. Tied all these knots off on the top. Now I will go ahead. Now I have all this string. It's going to be really easy. So I will go ahead and tie off these knots on the bottom. So again, I'm just doing a double knot. Bringing it up, giving it a little tug. Kind of a square hand, a square knot I think it's called. So just taking two strands, neighboring strands at a time. So one of those strands is under, one of those strands is over. And I'm just tying a double knot to secure those in. And I don't think you need to see me do the entire length. Any loose threads that I have off here at the ends, I'm going to go ahead and do an overhand knot just to secure them. I don't really think it's necessary because we are going to be ironing on a fusible pellon that'll hold everything in place, but what do we got to lose? So I'm just, little insurance, just go ahead and tying those in. So now I'm going to get out the fusible Pellon and we're going to secure the back of this. I've taken a heat set fusible interfacing and I have my iron set to cotton. I've laid it down over the top and I'm going to press this on. It's very uneven. The texture is very, very uneven because I've had a lot of, remember I used those loops and I used a lot of textured thread, actually. I don't know what other word to call it, but textured. So I'm trying to just push this down and get it to adhere as best I can. I was going to try to incorporate those tails into my design, but I changed my mind. So I'm just trying to press this down. I don't care if it's pretty because I'm going to put a lining. I actually thought about trying to sew the lining onto this first and then I thought, no, don't do that. Okay, so it ain't pretty, but hopefully it's effective. And we have it. It adhered very well. Very well. So this is going to come up. That's the back of the purse. This will be the front of the purse. I left this from the back because I thought I might be able to bring it forward and, you know, maybe have a button there and some fabric and see what kind of pockets I can put on the inside to make this a little more functional. Using a heavy brocade upholstery fabric that a local architect firm donated, I've gone ahead and sewn the inside of my purse, making several pockets. There's a pocket here, there's a pocket here, there's a pocket here. And as I close this purse, if I sew up the sides, it's going to be so tight that you're going to get my cell phone and a pencil in there. So I'm thinking I'm going to make an extension here so that the purse stays open like this. So I'm going to try to use this upholstery fabric to sew up the sides of the purse so that it would actually kind of stand like that, which I think is kind of cute. It looks like it belongs that way. It's been a process. I took a strip of this nice brocade fabric and I sewed it to the inside of this purse. So basically what I did is I laid this down, I sewed this to here, and then I folded it in half and sewed that up to there. When I got to the top here, I just had to do a little bit of hand stitching, and I did a little bit of hand stitching down here at the bottom to secure that in. But I kind of like that boxy look. So it's gonna, now it'll open up and I can have a couple of, I might even put a magnet in there as a closure or a couple of snaps. But I'm kind of digging it. And there we have the completed project. Little sides on both sides of the purse. Gives it a nice little, like a pocket effect. Cell phone fits. Wallet fits. Mask fits. It's my perfect little go-to-the-market purse. So there's a lot more you can do with a weave than just hang it on the wall. You can make some pretty cool stuff with a simple frame and some yarn and some patience. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it inspired you to do some weaving. And until next time, I'm Chris Van Hillo with the City of Tampa's Visual Arts team. See you soon.